Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic start to your week. This is a much requested video, guys. Today we're going to be going over Charli3. Now this is a Cardano Decentralized Oracle. Today I want to tell you what Charli3 is, what the potential value proposition of investing in something like this at its early stages are, and of course how you get this. So by the end of this short, brief overview of Charli3, you should have a good understanding of the project and whether perhaps you do or don't want to invest in it. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say or do on this video is financial advice. It is up to you to make the decision. Just use this as one tool in your arsenal. So today, guys, let's get straight into this video. And where I want to start is by bringing you to the website. Now you can see here, it's a very simple and easy to understand website, which I really like. We're of course going to have a look at the tokenomics. We are going to have a look at the kind of rollout for this as we are in Q3, which is going to see the migration to the actual Cardano network. You can buy this in the forms of an ERC20 token. I'm going to tell you how to do that later on in the video. And we're going to discuss the team because I've actually watched a number of interviews with Damon and Jonas. And you know, it's very, very impressive, and I believe there could be a real value proposition here. However, there is a lot more risk with these projects that are just starting out in regards to investing in something that has already established itself. And we're of course going to look at Twitter because they already have a number of partnerships. So where I want to start, guys, is by essentially reading you this abstract from the Charli3 white paper. The Charli3 white paper is 10 pages long. If you're interested in this project, guys, please go and give it a read. I'm just going to read you the first bit and the last to give you a good overview of what this project is. It is, of course, an oracle. Blockchain is eating the world. Smart contracts are replacing traditional agreements that require manual functions. However, blockchains are unable to access data from the analog system. Oracles were developed to serve as an abstract layer between the two systems. Commercially, oracles have provided this service. However, their centralization presents a single point of failure. This is the whole reason for decentralization. Decentralized oracle networks are poised as the precise mechanism needed for connectivity to the outside world. And this is essentially what Charli3 is. Much the same as Chainlink is an oracle platform. Where is Chainlink? Chainlink number 12 is an oracle blockchain. Charli3 is doing that, but they're doing it on Cardano. And this is going to have significant advantages given that Cardano, when they have smart contract capabilities, which we know is coming on the 12th of September, if the Alonso hard fork goes correctly, is actually going to be superior in a number of ways because it's going to be very cost efficient and very cheap. Whereas Ethereum, you know, I've actually purchased Charli3 and it was quite expensive to do it. And we'll talk about the purchasing in a minute. So let's go down to Decentralized Oracle Networks. Charli3 is an open sourced decentralized oracle to the Cardano network. Charli3 is the platform that provides and verifies data, initially focused on blockchain economic values for blockchain applications. Charli3 is a firm believer in decentralization and open, safe, and efficient access to accurate information. Who does not think that sounds fantastic? The contract and updates will be open to the public. Charli3 will utilize blockchain-based rewards for node operators, verifying data. This white paper is very comprehensive, guys. Essentially, they're talking about the security. You know, they have a very, if you are a validator and you run a node for Charli3, if you act in any kind of a malicious way, you will get very aggressively. So there's economic incentives for you to be providing accurate data. This is the beautiful thing about oracles. You know, their data source is how they get it. The token utility, talking about the actual C3 token. Economics, staking, you'll be able to stake, which is a very appealing feature. We know that Chainlink will be getting staking at some point. They're not yet there. It's coming with an upgrade. But this is absolutely great, guys. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'll read you the last bit and then we're really going to get into some of the juicy ins and outs of this project. In conclusion, we introduced Charli3, the first decentralized oracle network for the Cardano network. While oracles on other chains are either incapable of or need significant upgrades to allow interacting with assets outside of the blockchain, Charli3 offers this capability right from the start. After describing the traditional approach to oracles, we define Charli3's multi-layer decentralized mechanism and security measures for the oracle and the network. we illustrate the abstraction of data from the resources external to the blockchain, and we demonstrate the utility of Charli3 token in this function. We present the architecture of both on and off-chain components of Charli3's architectural design, and we presented the long-term strategy for Charli3 will harness its technology advancements to solve the Oracle problem today. Finally, we offer Charli3's approach to the economic and its tokenomics in the Cardano ecosystem. So this is a project I'm very excited about, guys. We know that it is coming out of Cardano and actually could benefit significantly in being a Cardano blockchain. It's currently sat at $2.91 and has a fully diluted, and let me make this point very clear, fully diluted market caps are always higher than the actual market caps. Fully diluted means if you'd sold everything. And that is currently sat at 291 million. The circulating supply of Charli3, we can take a look at the tokenomics here, is 100 million. And essentially, you know, it's about a fifth of Chainlink's circulating supply. But if you look at fully diluted, essentially it's always about half. So here you can see that Chainlink has a fully diluted market cap of 27 billion, and the actual market cap is 12 billion. So you could say that this market cap, it's important to look at market caps when you're looking at growth potential, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. You know, it's probably about half this. So it's probably around about 150 to 160 million in terms of market cap. So still exceptionally small in the grand scheme of things, certainly in comparison with where it could get to. You know, the website is good. I will say I am buying this token myself. Obviously I've bought it on Uniswap. We'll show you how to do that in just a second. But there is a lot. I'm not going heavily in on this. I am putting a couple of thousand in for the reasons that I want exposure to this. If this coin 100x's, which I believe potentially could be possible into the future. Remember, this project is getting released in a raging bull market. Now, if you look at projects that have previously been released in 2017, they go up with the market and then back down, and they can sometimes go back down a lot harder before establishing themselves. So remember, this for me is more of a long term. I'm invested in a lot of Cardano projects for the long term. That's why I'm only allocating this sort of money to it, because I think it can grow in a greater space of time significantly. So this is the kind of roadmap where we are in Q2 2021. Launch marketing, distribute the ERC20 token, which we'll talk to you about at the moment, because you can actually buy this and store it in your MetaMask or whatever wallet you choose to use. Set up off-chain code and review ADA testnets, which is what's currently sort of going on at the moment. In Q3, which is where we are now, hackathons, integrate Launchpad networks, expand external adapters, and migrate to Cardano. So you are actually going to be able to buy the Charli3 token. We'll do that with you right now. So here, if you come onto the website, guys, you can see Get Charli3. It will take you over to Uniswap. Now, I've had a look, guys, and I think the best way to buy it is with Ethereum. This is going to cost you a bit of money, anywhere from sort of $20 to $60 in gas fees, potentially. So it's pretty expensive to actually get into. So that's why you want to really play around with a couple of grand. If you've got $100 to put on, then a lot of that's getting eaten up in gas fees. It's just one of the downsides to using Ethereum. And you can see that you can essentially, if you connect your MetaMask, which I am not going to do for the purposes of this video, you will be able to interact with Uniswap and actually purchase and store your Charli3 token. Make sure that you add, and they have a buying guide here, which read it if you guys are unfamiliar. Some of you guys, please let me know if you want me to give you a tutorial on how to set up a MetaMask and other wallets, because I keep forgetting that I've been here for 4 years and kind of done all these things very early on, and it's second nature to me. But I know when I first started with the whole world of crypto and DeFi and interacting with certain applications built on top of these smart contract protocols, that I found it very daunting. So let me know if you want me to give you that. It will give you an official, because what you have to do is actually add this token to your MetaMask. You can do that here or on CoinGecko, which will actually give you the contract so that you can add it and store it in your MetaMask. So yeah, this kind of gives you a step-by-step guide on how to do it. Give this a read before you do so. What is it recommending here? I think Ethereum. Make sure, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you are buying the right Charli3 token. And how you want to make sure that you are getting the right one is by doing it essentially from their website. So if you come over to their website, click Get Charli3. Obviously, if you've got Ethereum in your MetaMask, you can switch in and out, and you can see that this is what. And I think this is V2, not V3, because you get a better price on V2. So this is V3 that I'm on right now. It says get a better price on V3. So that's essentially what you do. If you want to purchase this token and hold it, yes, there's going to be a high gas fee associated. Take that into account. But the reason I'm buying it now is because I want to get in early on this. I think this once it's actually operating, we know that they already have partnerships. A new day in crypto, Charli3 created a clean water coalition with Grow Your Stake and partners. So they are already getting their foot into the game. We will be checking out the other two oracles that are native to Cardano, Ergo and BULLRUN. We know that Wolfram Alpha are pretty impressive, and so are Ergo. But I'm kind of spreading my the same way I'm liquid, not in liquid yet, but will be, and of course Meld. I want exposure to these projects that are coming out. Not all of them are going to succeed, but the ones that do are going to do exceptionally well, and this could potentially be one. So if you want to buy Charli3, go over to the website, go get Charli3. You'll need a MetaMask already set up with Ethereum in ready to transact, and you can actually buy it via this way. Let me know if you want more of a comprehensive guide on how to do that, because I keep forgetting that people perhaps aren't as savvy as others. And I have checked out the liquidity. It seems like Ethereum C3 is the biggest liquidity pool. You want to make sure there's enough liquidity there just so that you don't incur any kind of slippage fees or anything like that. So what's the growth potential for this? Well, look, 160, let's say, million market cap, which we're estimating is where it's at. Could be lower than that. Certainly new products tend to do that. You could be looking at 100x, guys. I'm not saying you're going to get that this year, but I'm talking 5 years down the line. Oracles and the needs for them are only going to continue. Chainlink, in my opinion, we spoke about this on a lot of times on the channel. We're a big fan. One of our biggest holdings is Chainlink because it's such a used cryptocurrency. It has real world use cases, and it's fundamental to the blockchain ecosystem. DeFi is very small. DeFi is at 100. Let's have a look here. 100 billion. This is going to get into the trillions into the future, in my opinion, and certainly, with that, oracles that essentially facilitate these smart contracts and DeFi to actually work are going to benefit as a result of it. So Chainlink has a market cap of 12 billion right now. I can't remember what the all-time high. I think they got close to 20 billion at one point. I think you could see a similar growth if, for example, if for example, Charli3 does what they've set out to do and gains real adoption on the Cardano network, it's going to benefit very heavily as a result of it. And you could potentially into the future see a 10 billion market cap for this project, 15, 20, who knows, guys. It's really a guessing game at this point. But if you look at oracles and you look at some of the unique features of this and the fact that they're on the Cardano blockchain and could really have a foot in the door based on that, they could do exceptionally well. And we're a big fan of Chainlink. We got into Chainlink very early. It's one reason we're getting into this project. Now, I will say I have invested in many other oracles out there, such as Band Protocol, and they never really seem to. There's always one main. Chainlink really has a monopoly on the market, certainly in the Ethereum ecosystem. Now, I'm sure, what are the reasons, if anybody knows in the comment section, let me know, that Chainlink couldn't perhaps jump over to Cardano and help, because they are going to be multi-chain, but there is a benefit to using Charli3 as it's native. But it's a lot more of a risk, is what I'm trying to say here, than getting into an already established project, because it might not work. There might be some sort of coding problem, but right now I know they've been audited, they look good to me, and I'm personally taking that investment. So that is really all I have for you in this video. Certainly if you look at Link's growth, from when it kind of came out, it's just been up and to the right, and I'm expecting a similar thing for this. However, bear in mind you are getting into this project in a raging bull market, so remember that. Eventually we are going to have cooling offs from this bull market, and this project is going to get affected as a result of that, like everything else, and it could be in more so. We know that ADA got released, for example, in 2017 and sold off very, very hard as a result of that before it really established itself and is now a number 3 crypto in the game. So I hope that information has been somewhat useful to you, not been too confusing. I hope I've covered the kind of basics, the roadmap. This is the tokenomics, token vesting schedule. Yeah, everything looks good, you know, and this is the kind of roadmap. So we are solidifying niche in ADA ecosystem, establishing node staking, etc., etc. And this is the team. These guys are cool. I've listened to a number of interviews with Damon and Jonas, and they seem to know what they're talking about, and they're very optimistic about this project. So if you want to get into it now, guys, you can go over to Uniswap and you can purchase it. Just make sure you have your MetaMask set up and all the contracts are correct. You're not buying, because the problem with Uniswap is anyone can add a token. Make sure it is the legitimate Charli3 token, and the way to do that is to come on the website and click Get Charli3 and do it via their link to Uniswap, because they aren't going to have put an inaccurate one. Ethereum would be the best one to trade with, I think, due to the amount of liquidity on Uniswap between these pairs. And that's really all I have for you in this video, guys. Hopefully you found this entertaining and useful. If you have, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gentlemen.